Welcome to Go Home Heat, a wrestling podcast.
Sports entertainment.
Oh my God, it is
Vince
sports
McMahon will come through this microphone and strangle you.
Sports entertainment. Or they say sometimes sports and entertainment. Both.
Sometimes it's more of a sports or entertainment. I don't know if you're getting one.
Sometimes it's more of a
sports entertainment. Not on all the shows, but on the Raw show.
Scripted live action drama.
Ooh, there you go. Why don't we call it that?
Because the WCW called it that. Intro and Nitro.
I forgot that. That's a good callback right there.
Yeah. All right, so we get Bow Down to the King is your intro for Raw this week because much of the roster may have COVID.
That's that was good. You smart. You pointed that out. The theme of the night is recycling.
Yes.
We will recycle a match in the talent we have to get through this.
I believe that we know for a fact Drew had COVID, and then we also know that everybody who did work did double to triple duty tonight. Triple duty.
Triple duty.
Because he's Triple H.
Yes.
And they used two of his 4 or 5 Motorhead theme songs.
Yes.
Which is
He
great.
was getting them in.
Yes.
Which you can't ever go wrong with, dude. It's Lemmy.
First of all, the Bow Down to the King intro where it starts with, "On your knees, dog."
Yeah, dude. Come on.
Yeah, it's good. It's up there with all of them.
Dude, Lemmy, rest in peace, dude. That's like
the greatest.
Metal god.
Yeah, absolutely. He says he's here to talk, but he doesn't get a word out. And Randy comes down, and Triple H did make fun of the piped-in crowd noise. Mm-hmm. Looked at the camera and said, "I still got it."
I still got it. They're still down for me.
Especially with the applause button.
Yes.
Okay. So then Orton comes out and interrupts and says, "Did you come here to just give me Drew's title?" Which, no. And then he's like, "Did you come here to tell everybody that I'm going to be the last entrant into the Royal Rumble?" No. Triple H he's great at talking, and there's one thing you always miss when he's gone, and when he comes back, you're like, God, why can't everybody just be good at that?
Be good at that part like he is.
And he says that he was proud watching Randy's development, and that he would have burned the Fiend up, which it sounds stupid when I say it, but the way he said it, it's cool.
Yeah. And
then he said that, of course, I wasn't cool with, basically, the Fiend was standing in your way of what you wanted, so you did what you had to do to get there. And if the Fiend wanted you to be in a burn fire match, you took it. What you're doing with the Legends has nothing to do with your progress. And that doesn't make sense to me. Of course, his whole character arc is based on the fact that he's mean to old people.
I was about to say, dude.
I mean, the other part of his character arc as a young person, he can't do anymore. Or he would be fired or go to jail or something. Yes. So
can't do that.
Right. And luckily, he's matured.
Yeah. Well, in Triple H, man, come on, dude. It's like Triple H talking down. This is the guy who just Let's give Kane a call and ask how low Triple H will go to.
Oh yes.
To win a rivalry.
There is a shade of the pot calling the kettle blackface.
Yeah, dude.
Black.
Yes. Nice. The Croc returns.
Oh my God. Okay. And so anyway, he harkens the name of Ric Flair. You should never beat up Rick. And then did Triple H call Randy a prick, which I called him last week on our own podcast.
Triple H is listening.
Stealing my moves. And so then of course, Randy challenges him to a fight. Is the Cerebral Assassin, the game, still in there somewhere? And when Triple H mentions that when you want something, you don't get it, Randy does what you got to do in order to get a fight. He goes to what they
it's the triple dog dare of wrestling.
Your balls are in your wife's purse.
Bum, bum, bum.
My what?
My what?
Your balls are in your wife's purse.
What?
Sucker punch time.
Yes.
Every time.
Every time.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
the dumbest thing
And again,
ever is your balls are in your wife's purse thing.
And again, I repeat.
Because of course they are. You're married. It's literally the second thing you do after you put the ring on their finger.
Yep, balls in purse.
Right. You remove them. Second thing is put them in a purse.
That's exactly it.
It's the happiest moments of your life.
Yeah.
You no longer have to think.
Yeah. Decision-free lifestyle. Yeah. You're selling me.
Okay. Yes.
And my thing with this is, again, this is Triple H. So I was saying before,
absolutely.
What he should have done is, I still got it. I've got the power to put you in a gauntlet match for win or lose for the next 3 solid hours, and I'll be the last entrant.
Correct.
So you'll fight everybody.
You'll fight me just after you fought this roster, NXT's roster. Then we'll finish it with Sheamus and Keith Lee in a tag match, and then you get me one-on-one, Hell in a Cell.
Exactly. That's how he should have done it, you know? Like, who'd you think you were dealing with, dude?
Yeah. So anyway, but instead we get a fight, and then that'll be good. They'll fight later on. That's cool. And then we get Charlotte versus Lacey Evans. Again, now we have Flair, and to be fair...
Be fair to Flair.
We get an okay match, and then Flair cost his daughter the match again, and so now I'm starting to see where Randy Orton's coming from, and if you want me to be on Hunter's side on this, the old guy costing his daughter matches in order to, in her words, go to the in Lacey Evans' words, I'm going back to the hotel with Nate. What on earth? You know? Like, what on earth? Unless she contemplates. See, the thing with Nate is...
She a nurse?
In her military training, she may have been. This is beginning to make sense.
Yes.
Somebody has to give
MP, but
somebody has to give Rick the sedatives to get him to sleep at night.
Yes.
And tonight it's Lacey Evans.
Oops, dart in your neck.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Flair puts Lacey's leg on the rope to continue the match or whatever, and that's how it winds up going down. I don't want to get too wrapped up in this. I didn't know they had rehired Vince Russo.
Yes.
It's okay with me. Everybody needs a job. Vince has been killing them on his podcast for a while.
Yeah.
But
the man knows what he's talking about.
The man who decided that Miss Bagwell should be a part of a storyline is back.
She should be on a pole.
I think she's
in the least interesting way that could have turned out.
Yes.
That statement.
Keith Lee and Sheamus are making up, and then Miz and Morrison roll up on them, and Miz and Morrison are funny. Morrison is just funny, dude. And so, the Miz says stuff, and Morrison plays off of it, and that gets on Sheamus and them nerves, and we wind up getting a challenge back and forth. And that's good. We're moving on to that later. Richter Riker is wrestling Hardy. They have a little bit of a match there. Elias was supposed to fight here, but he injured his thumb in the studio playing like Jimi Hendrix, according to him. No one else has associated him with Hendrix yet. I guess that's coming in later reviews of his record.
I can understand that association. I mean,
yes.
The resemblance is uncanny.
Uncanny. Yes. And so then Elias winds up distracting Hardy, and we get the roll-up, to which Hardy grabs a mic and says, and this will be a common theme throughout the show, your minion is better than you. Why don't you come fight me? And so Elias comes down and whoops Hardy pretty good. Even though he was injured, he's willing to do this. Hardy hits another one of those Whisper in the Winds from point-blank range. And actually, he does kind of just a little bit outside. But still, point-blank range, flipping that quickly again. Elias hits the knee, and then the crossroads near fall. We get a Whisper in the Wind, a 1, 2, 3. Elias loses, and he doesn't seem to understand why his buddy Riker didn't help him out. Maybe that is part of the universal truth that that Elias has been preaching.
Yes.
But we wound up with Hardy wrestling 2 matches here, and that is going to be the theme of the evening.
Theme of the evening.
Yes, Sheamus and Keith Lee versus Morrison and The Miz. And the Eminem boys get a good whooping. They do come back and make it look pretty good. Keith Lee somehow breaks the ring itself with John Morrison's shoulders as he shoulder blocks Morrison up into the top turnbuckle, snapping the top turnbuckle thing.
Basically unclipping it.
Yes. And the look on Keith Lee's face when he realized what he did with Morrison's body of just hilarity. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm that strong. And then he looks over at Sheamus like, ha ha.
Oh, yeah. It was like Shaq breaking a backboard, man. Right. It was like, yeah, I'm really that big.
Yeah, it was fun. And then totally, it didn't look contrived at all.
I don't think that wasn't a work. That was an accident.
Yeah, and so then the guy rushes up as we go to commercial, come back. He's putting the ring back together feverishly while they're still wrestling. Appreciate them not going to the ropes while that was going on.
He's nice.
Considerate
of them.
Miz and Morrison do wind up taking the pin here as per what the Miz and Morrison have been involved in lately. They lose every week. Or don't look great every week at the very best. But obviously we assume because the Miz has this Money in the Bank, at some point that works out in his favor. Yeah. Because they keep giving it to him, even when he loses it. And then, okay, so...
You should say Drew McIntyre got the COVID like a full hazmat suit.
I kind of thought that the Miz should just say, I want... To be honest with you, he has a Money in the Bank ladder match. Drew can't wrestle. Walk out to the ring, demand a match. Drew can't come out. Give me my belt.
Give me my belt.
I want a no DQ match.
Yeah.
False count anywhere. Oh, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give me the belt. I'm the champ. That was the way you do this thing.
Yes.
That is not what happened.
No.
Okay, so then during the commercial break, as Sheamus and Keith Lee seem to be happy with one another, it turns into them wanting to fight, and we get a second match from these two guys. Again, theme of the night. And Keith Lee, Sheamus, they do double duty. I think they spent 30 minutes in the ring. Fantastic second match against each other. Keith Lee winds up going over. Sheamus, Keith Lee is willing to shake his hand because now these two monster fighters have respect for one another. And Sheamus is not having that at all because he wants a man hug.
Man hugging.
And we get a big, sweaty man hug in the middle of the ring. I respect it.
Yes.
I respect it.
Not since Daniel Bryan and Kane have we seen such man hugging.
Wouldn't want to be a part of it.
No. Showering would be necessary afterwards.
Clothing, too.
Yes.
I don't like if I go to the beach, which I don't anymore, although I do live near one.
Yes.
It was a time when I did. I never really hugged guys at the beach.
No, you don't hug dudes at the beach.
It's just that's me, though.
That's a rule. No, that's a rule.
Is it a rule?
I think it's a rule.
I think if it's not, it's a pretty good idea.
Pretty good idea.
Yeah. Triple H in Masterclass promo time backstage. He will
stare into the mic, stare into the camera.
I don't like to make fun of Triple H's nose, but I do really like to make fun of Triple H's nose.
Well, yeah.
And when they were talking in the ring beforehand,
the Toucan Sam of wrestling,
they get so close to each other when they're talking, and you can almost, because Hunter's just about the right height to where his nose would go into the lips of Randy. And his nose does protrude a little bit over the microphone, so there's that. If you lean in right there, this is going to be weird because he's going to accidentally kiss your nose. So.
Yeah, it's going to look like a bird feeding one of its young.
Yeah, and then when he gets the promo and he's leaning into the mic backstage, he has a little bit of a Hawkman look to him now that he's bald.
Can you imagine that in 3D?
No. A duck. Like if they had made Blade and if the Blade Hunter was in Blade 3 or 4 whatever that he was in, if that was in IMAX 3D now, you would duck and he'd just turn his head.
Holy crap, this is so realistic.
That thing is awesome. But anyway, he's gonna fight, which is great. And then we get Drew accepting the Goldberg challenge. And then we get
which challenge? The promo challenge? The Goldberg promo challenge? Because that's.
Remember I said that Triple H gave a masterclass in promos today?
Yes.
Drew did not.
Drew didn't?
It wasn't bad. Because bad would have been whatever Riddle was doing with the Lucha House Party backstage.
That was just...
I think he was trying to order pizza. I'm not a hundo on that exactly. Now, what Drew basically said is, Goldberg, if you're going to come out here and challenge me and talk bad about me, I'm going to need you to watch the show.
Yes.
So you can at least talk about something that makes sense.
Yes.
If you don't mind, Bill.
Yeah.
When you come here, they hand you this piece of paper and it says what's going on the show today.
Yeah.
Read it.
Uh-huh. And if you watch the program and you see something that was supposed to happen and didn't, don't come out here and act like it did.
Or have someone read it to you.
Yes.
Either way. But let's try not to come out here not knowing what's going on again. We wind up with a T-Bar. The mighty T-Bar fights Xavier Woods.
Yes.
You know how hard it is for me not to say T-Bag every time?
Every time?
Yes.
Every time?
I wish you people would just accept me calling him T-Bag, but I just don't feel like it'd be fair to him.
No.
Because he's fantastic.
Yes.
Dijakovic is so great. Anyway, he winds up in this, and it is about as good as it can be with him playing a role that doesn't allow him to do everything he can do as a wrestler.
Yes.
Because he's the big destroyer machine guy. And Woods is fantastic, but Retribution does get a win here.
Which is cool.
Which I think is important, and Woods being a solo wrestler in this situation while 6 people are standing outside the ring distracting him, it makes sense that he might lose. They said that his finisher, Dijakovic's new finisher, is called the Eyes Wide Shut, which I don't know what kind of show this is.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go into Eyes Wide Shut territory.
No, that was some interesting Kubrick.
But maybe
Stanley Kubrick movie.
Maybe Mace's finish is going to be the 9.5 weeks.
Oh, I hope not.
Mia Yim's can be the I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh no! Bring up movies.
Only intergender matches.
No.
Speaking of them being in a purse.
No.
You didn't see that one, did you?
No.
Kateo got him.
Oh my God.
Randy says he's gonna fight Triple H. Okay. He says it better than that though.
Does he? Really?
Yeah. Matt, although you did mention that we're in the Thunderdome and the young lady who is interviewing does have Tina Turner's haircut.
She does.
And it looks great.
It does.
And it fits because she had like a black leather outfit on. A chain link dress would have made a little more sense due to that's what actually Tina Turner wore. But if we don't need another hero.
Yes.
Somewhere in here, that matters.
Thunderdome.
Yes. Matt, one man enter.
Mm-hmm.
2-man enter.
2-man enter. I was about to say, that's not
1 man enter, 1 man leave. What a great fight. Okay, 2-man enter, 1 man leave. Okay, Master Blaster. Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley. And this is really good like it was last week. And then except the difference is it's the finish it should have been, which rights the wrong but doesn't really further the script.
No, not at all.
Because he taps out and he says he taps. So, okay. But,
okay.
So now, okay. But
all right.
Riddle grabs the mic as MVP and
Lashley
walk up the railway and he says, hey, I'll fight you. And then you start to realize the most important part of this show is nobody's available.
Yes.
These people keep having to wrestle twice.
Yes. Got to get through the COVID.
And which, hey, kudos to Lee for wrestling 2 matches, Sheamus for wrestling 2 matches, Riddle for wrestling 2 matches.
You know they're going to
Hardy for wrestling 2 matches.
You know they're going to have everybody they got in like hidden somewhere as best they can. So next week you might see a bunch of people you ain't seen before on Raw.
Or
because you got at least 14 days.
Or since we know Triple H is listening to the show, if Randy Orton's available, we may get that gauntlet match.
Yes.
Randy Orton is Shawn Michaels, and I can wrestle all night long.
Yes. He's not.
Okay. So MVP says, oh, you want some of this? And walks down there, and we get a second match, one of which Riddle winds up. He almost wins. He
wins by DQ.
He hits the float over. The flying bro.
Yeah.
And I like the bro Derek.
Broton.
I like the bro Derek better.
Uh-huh.
The 10. Remember those braids running down the beach?
Yes.
What a show. Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
Fantastic classical pianist, Dudley Moore.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a true story?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
I like it. Let's go with it.
No, I do. I seem to recall, like, on all those, like, talk shows, he would wind up, Merv and all that, he would wind up being in front of a piano and tickling the ivories while he kind of told jokes about what a klutz he was.
That's funny.
Yeah. Dudley Moore.
Yeah, he's funny.
A moment in time that existed.
He did. He happened.
You're a hooker? I thought I was just doing good with you.
It's like Russell Brand.
Dude, imagine writing a show like Author for today's audiences, or Pretty Woman.
Yes.
Where the love interest is the hooker, and she's got a golden heart, and the rich guy. It just, I don't know that you do that.
No,
today.
sir.
And vehicles that made two careers. I mean, you know, Roberts, her whole career is
based off Pretty Woman.
Genesis right there, and then
Right
boom,
there.
she explodes into being this fantastic actress we've seen for years.
Which goes to show you that just playing a role does not typecast you as something or mean you are something. You know,
Doesn't have to.
she's America's like sweetheart after that.
Right, and aged greatly.
Yes.
Anywho, what were we talking about?
Wrestling?
Hookers in theater?
Hookers in theater. What?
Wow. Anyway, so then we get Gulak backstage, and he strolls up on, he wants to enter the Rumble, and Adam Pearce says that that's not really how that works, and he's like, well, everybody else just announces they're entering, and he's like, well, technically you're not everybody else, why don't you go fight AJ?
Yeah.
And so we get an AJ Gulak match, and what's weird is if you don't know pro wrestling, and you just kind of follow the theater of it all, or the TV show of it all, you may not get that Gulak is just straight up fantastic as a wrestler, and he wrestles AJ, and we get that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I love to watch Gulak wrestle, and AJ's as good as it gets. And he, of course, AJ winds up going over with the phenomenal forearm. And then we move on to a Goldberg retrospective. All of his great moments.
In 30 seconds.
Right, which is actually 10 more than his greatest match.
Yes.
Kidding.
Yes. No, we're not.
Okay. Triple H approached by Keith Lee, and he says, hey, man, you've always been there for me. I could be there for you. I don't mind fighting a fourth time.
I'll be there for...
Yes. Yes. I'll be there for you. Bon Jovi. But this is not that.
No.
Because Hunter says, I made this mess. I'm going to have to clean it up. And
which is against his whole character for his whole career.
Correct. He literally wearing a Motorhead Triple H combined t-shirt. Mm-hmm. Like you said earlier when we were watching it, his entire career was based on, I'll have my minions beat you up while I unroll my sleeves and do some form of a stripped down Ric Flair / mob boss scene here where I put the stomping on you until I go get my sledgehammer. Mm-hmm. Instead, he's going to fight him, even Stevens.
Yes.
So they go, okay, so that's what we're getting later. Because first we have to put Shayna Baszler's career at risk by having her lifted by Mandy Rose on multiple occasions in a match.
Jesus, most dangerous place I've ever been. I've been in a UFC, an MMA ring.
Dude, and I think Mandy has gotten a lot better. She's with Dana Brooke in this match. Pretty good little match. They are trying to emphasize the women's division. I think they're doing a pretty good job of it. But I cannot help but be honest. Both times Shayna picked,
you mean
Mandy picked Shayna up, it looked like Baszler was terrified because of the uncertainty in her ability, Mandy's ability to control
where she
the
landed
fall.
And how she landed.
Right. Her arms were flailing like, oh my God, I'm going to hurt myself. But that aside, Baszler does get in trouble, and Nia saves her, and then when Nia is getting ready to go for the final pin move, Shayna tags herself in and chokes out Mandy, which, of course, we have the seeds of dissension once again running through this tag team. At this point, that seed needs to have grown some.
So stupid. They do this over and over and over.
Whoa,
and
with tag
over
teams?
And over and over and over. And I'm so tired of the repeat plot line. It's so done.
Well,
so done.
Speaking of that, it's time to play the game.
Oh, God.
The great entrance. Oh, my God. Thunderdome entrance for Triple H is worth the price of admission. He comes out and he spits water and he drools on himself and then he spits more water.
Yeah.
And we said it before. I'll say it again.
The older he gets, the more that gets kind of sad.
But I will say there had to have come a time where Triple H looked at somebody, because this had never happened in public before, and he said, I'm going to go out there. Because they were calling him the water boy because at the time he didn't drink it all or whatever. And he was like, literally drank water all the time. And at some point he says, I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to spit water and it's going to like just make a mist over the top of me and then I'll growl and flex. And it's going to be awesome. And somebody had to agree that it would be awesome.
Like
let him go out there. And it did wind up being awesome. And one of the great entrances in wrestling history.
Sure did.
But saying out loud to someone that is your boss, I'm going to spit into the air. It is going to go all over me, and it's going to look awesome. And that person going, yeah, go ahead. It almost had to be a ruse.
You have to understand that there's always people in this world who are willing to go out there and be willing to look a fool to advance human society, to get us to the next level. There was some guy who was walking by a cow one day, looked at his buddy, and said, you know what? I'm going to squeeze those things. I'm going to drink whatever comes out of it. Wow. What a game changer that guy was. Yes. Right? Now I have cereal and milk because that guy, Triple H is that kind of guy.
I think my whole worldview just changed, just pivoted. Woo! Okay, so then we get a fight, and they do fight. Triple H throwing the punches, and we talked about earlier how it's weird that Hunter throws. If you were a fighter, it's a little bit of an awkward punch, but it looks great in a wrestling setting.
It's a great looking punch for a wrestler.
He leaves his wrist a little bit loose. He leaves his hands a little loose, so when he throws the punch, it gives a little bit, but he actually makes contact with the face, which is nice. Millions of people that wrestle have never been able to accomplish that, which is strange to me.
Terrible.
We have two guys that can't. Both these guys have always been great at all the things that have to do with the things that don't have to do with the ropes.
Yes,
they don't climb the ropes.
No,
but they have
between the ropes,
absolutely, or outside of the ropes with sledgehammer, whatever. But two of the great, they have of the great 1,000 matches in history. They have hundreds of them. Mm-hmm. And yet neither one of them goes to the top rope. And neither one of them does a flip. Randy could, but he doesn't. Hunter couldn't. And yet they go out there and they're completely able to tell stories. And this story is just a replay of many fights they've had with one another over the 20 years or 30 years they've known each other. But that's not the point here, because another thing they managed to do is they made you forget that at some point the Fiend is going to show.
Yep, they got me.
You thought this was about them two. You thought this was about Ric Flair. You thought this was about Cowboy Bob. Mm-hmm. That's literally the point of wrestling.
Yes, it's magicians, misdirection.
Right.
Look this way so I can pull this this rabbit out of my head.
What cups it under?
Yeah.
You know? And so they give us that, and then as Hunter approaches the ring with said sledgehammer, his trusty, faithful one, other than Steph, his sledgehammer's always been there for him.
Yes.
And the lights flicker. He looks around. Orton literally says the F word, but he's not Mike, so it's okay. Hunter lifts the sledgehammer, and holy cow, it's on fire. First of all, Hunter's marking out. Yeah. Because all of his life he's wanted to light a sledgehammer on fire.
Been trying to get y'all to let me light this sledgehammer on fire for years. I told you it looked freaking awesome.
Literally, when you said you're going to light him on fire, I said, can I come in and do a guest spot? And you were like, no. Drew had to literally get COVID for me to come down there and light a sledgehammer on fire.
And now you see how cool this would have been my whole career.
Then The Fiend, the lights go out, and the Fiend transports Triple H away from all this
to beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
They're going to show that. They're going to show that he appears in an Applebee's in Milwaukee.
Yes.
With a flaming spear, and people are terrified.
Yes.
That's going to be on next week's Raw.
That'd be great, dude.
Yes.
You're going to ruin somebody's wonton tacos.
I'm out of here.
I'm out.
The sprinkler system goes off. Totally doesn't look as cool as they'd hoped. Okay. But lights go out. He's gone. Alexa Bliss shows in the corner, looking very creepy, but a little more adult in her dress this time around. Sometimes she can be a little childish in the playground when she's on a swing, which technically being on a swing, maybe you should look childish.
Yes.
She puts the glove up to her face.
The pain glove.
The pain glove, not the play. Is it play? Mm-hmm. Pleasure or pain or play?
Play and pain.
Play's probably better than pleasure. Probably that might go back
a little creepier.
That might go back to 9.5 weeks.
Yes.
Eyes Wide Shut.
No.
That's a different program.
No.
Altogether. And so, anyway, and then she fires a fireball.
Yes.
At Randy Orton's eyesight.
Cast a fireball at him. Fireball.
Which is great.
Yeah.
You don't get fireballs into people's eyes all the time.
No.
I appreciate it. Samoa Joe missed it somehow.
Yeah, he didn't say, what happened? You sat there through that Ric Flair crap. You gave me the play-by-play and you missed the fireball.
Joe, we love you. God, you're the best. But yeah, man, there was a fireball that went across the ring and went into Randy Orton's eyeball.
Face.
And Randy Orton is entering the Rumble, and now they're going to have to he's going to have to enter the Rumble as Daredevil.
Yes.
Which is going to be great.
Oh man, he's going to be the blind serpent.
SmackDown. Highlights from last week is how we start this out. And then Paul is over Roman's shoulder as Roman sits in a chair. Roman is not happy. Paul talks and talks until he figures out what exactly Roman wants, because Roman's not going to cut him any slack and tell him. This was great, but Paul figures out that there needs to be a stip added to this, and then we're going to need to teach Pierce a lesson. Jey Uso hits the ring. Welcome to the Bloodline show. Adam Pearce needs to be careful. These are all things Jey Uso says. Needs to be careful. Roman I love this part. We got fresh towels in the back. Mm-hmm. We got hot food and catering. You guys are performing in front of millions of people. All this is Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. He brought you all this. Mm-hmm. None of this was here. Which I'm a little flustered with the size of those guys that they're not getting them hot food and catering until just recently.
Oh, yeah, that's depressing.
I would think that's not true. Because I saw what MVP and them were eating on Raw. Mm-hmm. So you think with that Fox money,
they'd be a little better off.
They could slide in a pasta every now and then.
Every once in a while.
Right?
Maybe Arby's or
And
something.
I'm not talking about pasta salad either.
No.
I'm talking about linguine, baby.
Ooh.
Okay. And so anyway, I thought he was doing great here. He says that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble. Unlike Gulak, he's allowed to.
Yeah.
And then he says he's going to whoop. Once he wins the Royal Rumble, he's going to whoop Drew because the Bloodline ain't stopping with just one show.
No.
And then he's going to whoop Oldberg, which he accidentally left out the G.
Weird.
Yeah. It did make sense to me, though.
Really?
You know how they have the Young Bucks?
Yes.
If you wanted to go with Oldberg,
yes,
it would make sense.
Why?
It would fit right because he's older.
He is?
Yes.
I watch him in the ring, though, and he looks so, youthful.
Yes. Yes.
Like a small child, if you will.
Okay. And so
toddler.
So then Jay rambles for 5 minutes. He never stutters, he never stumbles. And then Nakamura's music hits because I'm 100% sure they said, okay, here are your talking points. Go down there and talk till we hit Nakamura's music. So he doesn't. So many times you see guys in this scenario kind of begin to stumble as to when is somebody going to come out here and interrupt me.
Uh-huh.
He was able to get it all out, do it really well.
Yeah.
I thought this was great. Jay is killing it in the
role.
He is. Nakamura comes down. Oh, he said that Nakamura should say thank you as well. Nakamura comes down and says, if Roman's the big dog, then you are his puppy. Kick and we got a match on.
I love that kick. That was tight, dude. He just snapped that foot up there. Jay went to hit him and he was like, whap.
dude, it's almost like they said to Nakamura, "Hey, we're gonna let you be in some stuff," and because if you remember,
notice the music change.
Yes, his old theme.
Yes, he's back to good guy music.
Yes. The other thing was too, like if you remember, towards the last few months, maybe last month, he and Cesaro have been having bangers, and his portion of those matches have been great. It's almost like they told him, "Dude, we're going to put you in something that matters here in a little bit," because he has really dialed it up. And him and Jay, and it's crazy to me when I find out that Jey Uso's wrestling Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm thinking this is freaking awesome because I never thought of Jay like that.
Yeah.
And Nak had kind of been floundering, but all of a sudden we've managed to put them in there, and I totally love it.
Yes.
And we get it. Cesaro comes down to be to talk, and
with a beautiful double Windsor knot in his tie. Come on, man,
dude,
showing us all up.
Are his talents unlimited?
Unlimited.
Not only is he one of the great physical specimens. Double Windsor knot tie. Okay, he's going to enter the Rumble too. Again, Gulak shoot. Jay has it going. Shinsuke's educated knees, educated feet. Flip the script there. The sliding snap German is one of the great
love it.
moves.
This looks so good.
Yes. Shout out to the Bone. Bone Collect. What's his? New Japan.
Taiji Ishimori.
Yes.
The Bone Soldier.
Shout out to the Bone Soldier. I love that guy.
Yeah,
that guy's
tough.
Freak.
Dude, he's like so strut.
Yes.
It's like a slightly smaller Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
He's like ripped.
Yeah. Jay fights back with a Samoan slam backdrop. Oh, a backdrop into a neck breaker, almost a cutter. What a good move.
Looks so good.
Shinsuke runs into a super kick when he gets things going his way. Jay winds up running into one as well. Jay has a pinning predicament, puts his feet on the ropes. The referee notices, waves off the 3 count that he hits, and then
Jay gets into it with him.
He gets into it and winds up eating the Kinshasa.
Yeah,
say it again.
Kinshasa. He rolls him backwards like he's going to hit the little roll-up pin, and then rolls him through it, and then hits him, bam, right in the face of the Kinshasa all of a sudden.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3, and now we know Jay's in trouble because he wasn't supposed to lose that match. Paul Heyman comes.
Little Nature's in trouble, too.
Yes, big trouble. We'll get to that. Paul Heyman comes into Pierce and Sonya's office, and he lets them know that the contract has been rewritten and that it's going to be a no DQ match. Pierce is frustrated by all of this and thinks it's ridiculous, but he signs the contract anywhere. Paul does manage to pause and let Sonya know that her perfume is effective.
Yes.
One of the stranger compliments.
I know, and she almost lost it. She was cracking up. Yeah.
Well, for one, it was pseudo creepy.
Yeah. He's good at pseudo creepy.
Yes, because he's creepy.
Yes.
But he can find that line to pseudo.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the reverse of the way it probably should work.
Yes. Terrible.
Yes, okay. Kayla with the Profits. Don't call us scared. They go through a list of nicknames for the Dirty Dogs, and ED is one. And Montrez, he wonders exactly where Dawkins is going. Entertainment dysfunction.
Yes.
Which I thought was pretty good.
Yes.
Okay. So then they're about to drop bodies like Bloomhouse. Which I like that. That was
clever.
Yeah.
Timing.
They're good. They're very funny. Then we get a cut back away from them as we learn that Roman is helping Apollo.
I like this.
Locker room leader style. He's in there alone. It's one person. It's almost like he's been summoned to talk to the leader. When Paul comes in, Apollo is willing to let himself out because he knows this is probably not his business. Roman says, hold on. At some point, you might be in a scenario where this kind of information, this is how things work, buddy. Watch.
Yeah. It's all about power and control.
It is. And he tells Paul that the contract he got signed isn't what he wants.
Never said I wanted that.
Correct. And so you'll have to fix this. I want a no man standing match, and I want a last man standing match. No man stand. No man stand.
Never
stand. Okay, last man standing match, and he wants it signed in the ring and he tells Paul, I consider this handled. It's already been done. I told you to do it, so it's already been done.
Yeah.
And then we get, again, Roman killing it. Natty versus Liv is the match in the ring with Billie Kay on commentary until she gets nervous and she walks down to kind of sort of help
somebody.
Then maybe slide over to the other way. I thought we got really good wrestling out of Natty and Liv.
We did.
And I believe, doesn't Billie run from Tamina?
Yeah.
Who's outside on the other side. Runs through the ring, distracts Liv, which causes Natty to win, which means she can no longer be in the Riot Squad, which means we are not going to get to see the documentary in which she details her mosh pishing.
Yes.
Pitting? Pishing.
Pishing. She said pishing.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. I don't know if that's some Australian thing we shouldn't be saying on air.
Maybe we should be doing the crowd chafing.
Yes.
But anyway, I loved all of this because I love Billie Kay and I like good wrestling, and they managed to put those two things in the same thing.
Yes.
In an entertaining way. Dominic is with Rey Mysterio wearing a Gucci hooded jacket, or as I like to call it, all of Developmental's combined salaries on his shoulders.
Yes. I saw that salary list. They should all be ashamed. They should all be ashamed of themselves. Corbin
versus Ray is what we get, and the point of this match was Corbin beating up Ray as Ray fights from down under, but Graves is just calling Dom a coward for not helping his dad.
Yeah.
The entire time. I loved it. Dom does get Ray's nickname mixed up with Kevin Nash's nickname.
Yes.
Because he says, that's why my dad is nicknamed the Giant Killer. Sorry, buddy, but there's only one big sexy the Giant Killer.
Yes.
And it's Kevin Nash. Who absolutely accidentally dropped Big Show on his head and broke his neck.
Yeah. The Giant Killer.
Only
literally.
One. There can only be one.
Yes.
Okay. Highlander. Okay. Well, then we wind up where Ray gets a couple of nice little things in. Baron is really good at selling for people smaller than him. Mm-hmm. And there were maybe one or two, he falls a little before he gets kicked. Most of it was pretty seamless.
Yeah.
He does wind up catching Ray in the end of days that puts this thing away. And so,
well, he runs Ray into Dominic, knocks Dominic's on the apron, runs Ray into Dominic.
Graves convinces Dom to approach the apron.
Yes.
Ray winds up, he punches Dom.
Yeah.
Dom goes to hit in the ring. Ray says, don't. That's when he gets pushed in. Dom gets the win on the end of days. Moving on, because Paul is with Pierce, he hands him the contract. He says, we've amended it. It will be a last man standing because you deserve more than this. And he does the politician spinning of the whole thing.
Selling ketchup popsicles to ladies in white gloves.
Yes. And he says, you can keep that, look it over. I'm considering this handled. As he repeats what Roman has told him. Then we get Ray, as Dom is chewing out Ray for not being, why would you back down from him, Dom is saying. And then Ray says, look, you may not realize this, but Corbin's won King of the Ring. He's won Rumbles. He's won Money in the Banks. He's won, he rattled. He said,
U.S. champion.
He's a legitimate Gold Gloves boxing champion. If you want a piece of that guy, you got to know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And then he says, I know just the guy to be involved in this. And they walk off. So I don't know where they're going. Maybe to interrupt Buddy, who's probably preoccupied.
Don't say it.
With lunch.
Lunch, yes.
And, okay. Bailey has a talk show. Ding Dong Hello, with a huge door in the middle of the ring.
Yes.
And she intros her GUEST, the EST of wrestling, Bianca Belair, who comes down, and we get a nice little segment where they kind of run each other down. And
they're fun together.
They are very fun together, and Bailey challenging her to an obstacle course.
Yes.
means, one, we know Bayley will win because there's absolutely no way she should or could win any form of a physical comp. Bayley is an athlete.
Yeah. Bianca Belair is an elite level athlete.
Right. Bayley, I think, went to a small college.
Yeah.
Bianca ran track at Tennessee.
Yeah.
And, like, could squat the world and set every record at the Performance Center.
Yeah.
A Performance Center that Bayley was at.
Yes.
So this should be fun, the way they do this. Gable, Daniel Bryan, and Otis were doing hip work backstage. And Cesaro rolls up on them and winds up challenging them to a match here. I'm hearing that Daniel Bryan is on his last contract with WWE, and that to me, if that is true, one, if he's going to walk away from wrestling altogether, I get it. We're lucky we got him a second run. Two, if he's going out, he is going out wrestling fantastic matches and being this mess he's doing with Otis is funny.
Yeah.
And he's willing to do it. And it also allows him to be in a place of levity a little bit so that he can lose to a Shinsuke and be nice about it. Like he said, I was proud of Shinsuke when Shinsuke beat me. Cesaro said, that's not your place.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we're going to get some form of a split up here.
Yeah, at some point.
Soon, yeah. Which is going to be a great match as well. But this turns into Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro, which is fantastic because these are two of the best wrestlers in the whole world. Cesaro split his head up.
Yeah, if you end up with a faction that is, if Rowan pulls in Apollo Crews and then pulls in Cesaro.
Wow. I still would not be opposed to Jay. I never thought I'd say this, to Jay being on Raw and winning the title. And the bloodline literally running on two different shows.
I have no problem with that.
It looks like I would have told you you're crazy 2 months ago. But right now, I don't have a problem with that. And if you send his brother over there with him to have his back, and you let Roman run this show with a makeshift locker room thing, like you said, Apollo and Cesaro could have his back, no problem.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy physical. Now, this match is crazy. It's fantastic. We get somehow Cesaro manages to do a second rope vertical spinning suplex.
Oh yeah, that twist out suplex.
And dropping Daniel flat as a pancake on his back, which is perfect. He did no danger whatsoever to Daniel Bryan.
Great.
And just what an athlete. And he does wind up going over,
which was crazy. I was happy about that.
Pop up Euro uppercut into the neutralizer for the win. And great for Cesaro. And if Daniel's on his way out, him putting over the misused talent is the best way to do it, and to anoint them into main event status, and then they get to fight each other and get further along in that route.
Oh yeah,
this is great. Kayla with Carmella, who is with Reginald, and she tries to run Sasha down, but boom, Sasha attacks. Reginald gets in the way, and Sasha says, hey, you know what? I'll give you your title match, but first I get to wrestle Reginald. And I loved it. You hated it.
I don't like the whole Carmella, I'm just more naturally talented than you. No. No, you're not. Never. Ever.
Correct. But
ever.
But heels saying things that aren't true is
not
uncommon.
I know, but it's just so... It's like
you guys literally have been in the same locker room.
It's like Ric Flair saying, I'm to the Big Show, I am better because I'm taller than you. You can say I'm better in the ring than you. You can say I'm dirtier than you. You can say a lot of things.
Right. I have help.
Yes.
You know,
things that are
I've hit you with the champagne bottle 3 times out of the last 5 weeks.
Yeah. But demonstrably things that I can see on my screen are not true.
Right. Right.
No, I'm kidding.
Every aspect of her physicality is better.
Yes.
Carmella she's good.
She's gotten way better.
And she's a better talker than Sasha.
Yes.
If she were to say, I'm better than you because I get better promos.
Yes.
I'm all in.
I'm all in.
Right. But I thought for Sasha, though, too, this is a great scenario for her because she doesn't have to give an elongated promo. Nice, quick, push one person down,
boom, boom. Yeah,
challenge
boom.
the guy, and she'll probably have a banger with Reginald.
Reginald's going to come on. Yeah, he's going to be badass.
It's going to be fun because he's athletic. This could be really neat.
He's better than the chinless dude that used to be Carmella's sidekick when she was doing the same thing.
Slightly better.
Slightly better.
than Mr. White Van.
White Van.
Apollo comes to the ring. Last week, Paul was on Talking Smack telling Apollo how great he can be and he can be more than he is. This week, Apollo has been in the locker room with Roman, and he will battle Sami Zayn and his film crew. Big E is on the couch, laid out beside the announcer's crew.
I love that.
It was well done. Every bit of it was well done. Sami is just a wrestling savant. He can play every role, and being this, what he's doing right now is awesome. Apollo beating him in a physically superior way made total sense. Big E eating fruit as he watches.
Oh, beautiful. Loving his fruit cup.
Yes. Then, of course, post-match we get, oh my goodness. The announcer call of the night, though. Sami goes for the holding of the tights.
Oh, yeah.
And the referee says no.
Uh-huh. I know what you're about to get to.
Apollo returns the favor by grabbing Sami's tights, and you can see Sami's butt cheeks pretty blatantly clear. And Big E screams. Apollo was knuckles deep. Oh my God. I can't even believe that made it.
Through
I can't believe they didn't bleep that whole...
You know that dude was laughing too hard to bleep fast enough.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, then Apollo and Big E get to yapping at each other outside. And the thing is, Apollo is showing personality.
I love it.
And his familiarity with Big E allows him to go places that he's been a little too stiff in conversation to go in other scenarios, even with the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
He feels human.
Yeah, finally.
He's not just a small, happy-go-lucky wrestling machine.
Yeah.
He's it. And dude, don't tell me that Roman Reigns being around isn't helping this.
Yes. Anybody.
Everything he touches.
Yeah. Well, and
Big E as well.
I think there's a guiding force back there, and it's a pudgy, penguin-y looking guiding force.
Socially inept.
So, that is...
Unless he's the boss, in which case he's creepy.
He's getting people,
Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
It's Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Those little pushes he's giving people on Talking Smack, those little pep talks. Dude.
Just random. Paul Heyman resembles the Penguin in many ways.
Yes.
He also kind of
operates.
Rubs me a little bit like the Penguin in the graphic novels.
Yeah.
Because Penguin's smart.
Yeah, and he's an organizer. He's never really the most dangerous guy. He's the guy organizing the whole thing.
Physically, he's not dangerous at all.
No.
Very smart.
Very smart. Always got 2 or 3 guys working for him. Always got the plan.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you seen Gotham?
Yes, I saw first 2 seasons, I think.
That guy plays Penguin.
He's
incredible.
Yeah, very good.
It's a very good show.
Yeah.
Very good show. I recommend it to all you wonderful people out there. Roman and Pierce are doing a contract signing, and Roman hasn't had a thing not go his way this entire heel turn. That changes tonight.
Yeah.
He makes Adam Pearce get out of Adam Pearce's chair, go to the other side.
I want that chair.
And still puts the chair in a different place.
Uh-huh.
Instead of just putting the chair nobody's in a different place. He signs the contract. Then he makes sure Pierce signs it. He says, "That's the last contract you will ever sign. I've wanted to see you do this all night," Pierce replies. And as he walks away, everybody wonders, what has he got up his sleeve? And lo and behold, his knee buckles on the way out.
I saw that, and I was like, there you go. There's your way out.
It buckles a second time, and oh my goodness, an old knee injury has propped up. And of course, as we know, on every single contract, it says, card subject to change.
Uh-huh.
Adam Pearce may not be able to wrestle, and if he can't, Kevin Owens will be his substitute. Owens' music hits.
The only thing I was hoping for there was Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes. Okay, here's why I'm okay with it. One, I feel like this Roman Kevin Owens thing has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind them doing this at the Rumble because I want two reasons. One, I do feel like when you talk, you said that you've seen it twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you talk great rivalries, it's always a trilogy of fights.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Kevin hasn't won one, he should have won both.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to lose the third one more than likely at the Rumble. So I get where you're coming from. Oh my God, it wasn't really a rivalry because he lost 3. But by the same token, I do feel like you think that what we've seen so far has been good.
Oh, it's been really good.
And Kevin will do great in the promos, and Kevin will get his bow up and all that.
Yeah.
Shinsuke needs to be Mania for me. That's what I want.
I like that. So you're thinking, do you think Shinsuke wins the Rumble again this year?
No. I don't think he wins the Rumble. I think the Rumble is his portion of the Rumble, right? Somebody will cost him.
Mm-hmm. Cesaro, maybe.
Cesaro may cost him, or it could be Jay, something like that,
Yeah.
or some combination. But I do think that is the story that takes us. I think whoever wins the Rumble challenges Drew.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay. The story is this begins the path of Shinsuke earning his way of not fighting down under in matches, but fighting the entire system because of whatever. Because what I think they want to do is build Shinsuke into Daniel Bryan's
or Kofi's
one of those style Mania moments, but the way to do that here is probably
the slow build.
They'll need that other month to get him there, not for us, but just in storyline part. And I think finishing this with Kevin Owens makes sense, and Roman's feuds being Jay Owens Shinsuke.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even losing the belt to Shinsuke. I doubt it, but
it'd be cool.
If you could do that, what an olive branch too. I was thinking too the other day, and that's it for our week of wrestling, by the way. But I was thinking the other day, how much amazing talent the WWE does have that has excelled in New Japan. When you talk of the AJs, and of course NXT has a bunch of. I thought
Undisputed Era, all of
how AEW is doing the club thing, and then Hunter sticking Finn in the ring with Kyle and with Cole, and not doing the too sweet, even though everybody was chanting it.
Yeah,
and then them starting to push Shinsuke a little bit.
Yeah,
and AJ always being the greatest. I thought
maybe a little bit
a gentle reminder. Hey, we have that too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I thought that was cool.
We got the top tier.
Shinsuke may be the greatest legend of New Japan, not to Japanese audience, but to our to the American audience.
And he's up there with the Japanese audiences,
right? Oh, big time! He's the youngest champ they ever had. Yeah, it's anyway fantastic. I enjoyed the week. It was really fun.
Great.
For my man Justin, from EKP, this has been a Go Home Heat production, copyright 2020. Want to thank the Gin Project. Go to their website. If you want to buy one of our little posters, they're there. If you want to buy some actual artwork, it's there. If you want to buy a table, it's there. It's all kind of neat art and stuff there, and Charles Gibson is doing great work over there. And copyright 2021.
Woo!
Go.